What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. You are watching Todos con Todos podcast. My name is Mike, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time. And we have my boy Chewy on the other side.
What's up, guys? Welcome back in another week, another episode. And I promise you guys this one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I don't know about you guys. I don't know for those of you. First of all, let me start off by saying this. For those of you who have been supporting us until now, thank you so much for your support, for all the love that we've gotten from our friends, family members, people who are just random strangers that listen to us. Thank you so much for the support. We're slowly growing. We've talked about this several times on the podcast, how this is a grind, guys. This is definitely not something for the lighthearted, because you have to be in it. You have to be in it for a while to really see views, subscribers, and all that good stuff. So for those of you guys who have stuck with us, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Our episode last week, Chewy, did pretty good, dude. A lot of people really enjoyed it, and which is awesome, right? Because I didn't know if this is what I was nervous about, dude. I was nervous that a lot of people were not going to know about the people that we were talking about, so they weren't going to be interested. But surprisingly enough, a lot of people didn't know about them, but still liked the episode because it was kind of informative for them. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, I was not expecting that feedback too. And I don't know if you guys remember too, but we posted on a different day because of situations and stuff like that. But the podcast did pretty well, man. And that's a weird thing about the internet and our supporters, if you want to call it that way, man. We don't know how they're going to react. But again, guys, we're just trying to switch the content up and down just to see exactly what you guys liked and just to find our flow as well. That way we can go ahead and create better things. If you guys noticed too, we changed the dynamic of how we edit the podcast, how the screens change and everything, because we want to make it like pretty when it comes to visual terms. That way you guys enjoy and you just don't see the same thing week after week. So like my boy Mike said, thank you so much for the true fans, the ones that are there since day one. We appreciate that. And once again, the haters too, because thanks to them we recreate things, and that's like part of our motivation as well, just to keep going.
For sure, dude. So I don't know. I guess my follow-up to this is it's definitely been a crazy roller coaster ride. It's been a crazy whirlwind. And Chewy, if you're not mentally prepared for the ups and downs, I don't know if this is something that's good for somebody, right? I think that's the advice that I can definitely give somebody that is maybe wanting to start a YouTube channel or a vlog or a podcast. You definitely need to be positive in the ups and the downs. Guys, I don't think I've ever shared this with you all, but there was a few weeks ago where I guess YouTube was messed up a little bit, and our subscriber count had gone down from like 14 subscribers to like 7. And I text Chewy and I'm like, bro, that's it. I'm throwing in the towel. Like, screw this. Like, we put so much effort into this thing to lose 7 subscribers in one day. Like, what the hell did we do? What did we talk about that made us lose so many people? And then the next day I was done like throwing a pity party, and I looked again and we were back to 14. And I was like, I text Chewy and I'm like, hey bro, I think it was a glitch. And he's like, yeah bro, we're good.
Yeah, dude. And it's so weird because I know that this kind of stuff happens like in Instagram, because a lot of fake profiles will follow you, and then like the next 2 days, like Instagram realized that and they like delete the profile and stuff like that. So when you told me like, dude, that's impossible. Like, I mean, how we went down like a lot of subscribers, I don't understand. And then we checked like the day later and it was like, no, back to what we have. Now, here's guys, again, if you ask me, we should have more than what we actually have.
100%. 100%.
Please, guys, if you enjoy the content, just make sure to like the channel, because trust me, guys, that will help us when it comes to YouTube terms, like to push our content out there. When you guys see, like when you guys are actually watching a YouTube video and at the end of the video, you see like a suggestion video, that help us, because the more the content is out there, YouTube is going to show us on other videos. So please, guys, please remember to subscribe, share the channel with friends and everything. That way we can go ahead and take this to the next level, because trust me, guys, we're working so hard and we're trying so hard on this.
Dude, and one thing that I've realized on that same note is that a lot of people don't really know how to use YouTube, and that's totally okay. And I found this out. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call you guys out, but I was talking with my sisters a few days ago, and they were like, dude, like, you guys are doing so good. Like, you guys, my sister was like, I watch your video every time that you post it on Instagram. I go on YouTube and watch it. And I'm like, what do you mean? You should get a notification letting you know that we posted a video, so you don't have to, like, if you miss it on Instagram, it's fine. And she's like, well, how does that happen? And I'm like, you need to be subscribed. You're subscribed, right? And she's like, no. And I'm like, dude, you watch every single video and you're not subscribed. Like, I made her take out her phone, open the YouTube app. She's like, it's because every time I search for your channel, it's never there. And I'm like, literally type in on YouTube. So guys, if you're wondering how to view our other videos that are on the channel, open up YouTube, type in Todos con Todos podcast. We are literally the first one that pops up in that search. You click that. There's red letters that say subscribe. If it says subscribed, then you're good. If it doesn't, click that subscribe button. Click the subscribe button. Help us out. Help us grow. Like Chuy said, share us with your friends, with your family, if you guys like what you hear. Chuy, there's a bunch of different people that I know listen to the videos every week, dude. And I think sooner or later we'll start getting more listeners. But with everything, it's new. People are still kind of, should I mess with them? Should I not? And that's totally okay.
Now, also, guys, I had these questions for a while, but I just want to make sure. I think this is the right time to ask you guys, but maybe you guys don't enjoy the YouTube video. Maybe you just want audio. Let us know. Please send us like a DM through Instagram or leave a comment in this video just to let us know, because there's other options too that we can go ahead and just post audio. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I started into podcasts like that, not watching the actual video. Just when I will go to the gym, go for a run, I would just put my podcast and it was audio only. So if you guys think that that's going to be convenience for you guys, trust me, it's not going to be more work for us. It's just another extra 2 clicks literally just to put the video format into audio format. That way you guys can go ahead and enjoy it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and stuff like that. So let us know, please, if you guys having a hard time, like, you know what, because I don't have time to actually watch the video and you guys only want the audio version of the video, we can go ahead and do that, but please just let us know.
Yeah, for sure. And then once we start growing, we promised you guys on the first and second episode that once we start growing and we see more views and more subscribers, that's when we would get into the real juicy content. And for those of you guys who do know me on a personal level, you know for a fact I got juicy content of things that I've gone through in the past. Chuy has some juicy stories that he would love to share, but we don't just want to share that now. We want to wait until we're able to get more people. So if you're part of the family already, encourage other people to subscribe, to view, so that we can start getting to those contents. But in the meantime, we still bring you guys some awesome content. We've been bringing you guys some awesome topics, and today's topic is going to be part of that awesomeness. So with that said, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You're good.
All right. You're not going to start taking off your shirt or anything, right?
Right. No. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's super hot right here. And
bro, it's super hot.
I had to turn off the fan. I had to turn off the fan because the echo of the room will get the noise into the microphone. So that's why I was like, no, you know what, dude? Let me just relax and see what happened. No, but we're good, my boy.
All right. Hey, bro, I just want to make sure you're good over there. I don't want to, get some strikes on YouTube because you start te empiezas a encuerar, and then I don't know where this podcast is gonna go. So
I know, dude, and we're just starting,
guys. Today's topic is super cool. I know sometimes we mess around a lot, and sometimes we talk about topics that the segments that we like to call los misterios de la vida. And for those of you guys who know me on a personal level, for those of you who don't know me but have seen the previous video, you know that something very tragic happened in my life. last week, or actually a couple of weeks ago. My grandmother passed away, and it's been a really hard time. I've been dealing with a lot of like mental struggles since that happened, and I've been, facing some other different struggles mentally, and it's just been a tough time overall. And I don't know if kind of like everybody's on the same boat. I know that a lot of people have been struggling. Even influencers that I follow personally on YouTube have been going through some rough times. And I think Chewy's been going through some stuff, and he's gonna touch on that a little bit here in the next few minutes. But we don't really have I guess we don't really have a name for the topic or something specific that we're going to talk about. I think if you could label this episode, it's more of like mental health slash getting back on track slash motivation. And if it's funny, Chewy, because I was thinking about what we were going to talk about, dude, and I was thinking, if we don't help anybody that listens to today's episode, I think just talking about this between me and you is really going to just help each other out. Because, so talking about this a little bit more, dude, I don't know if you're listening to this and you maybe are finding yourself in a position where you just feel frustrated, you feel not satisfied with where you're at, you feel like maybe you started the year very motivated and you had a bunch of New Year's resolutions, and you for a fact knew that you were going to crush it because 2020 sucked so bad. 2021 was going to be, the best year of your life. And then we're here in April, almost midway through the year, and you might not be seeing all those positive impacts in your life that you thought you were. And if that's you, then definitely stick around for this. We might share some laughs. We might share some tears. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. It's not scripted. As you guys know, we are not a scripted podcast. We are not, we don't have a timeline. We don't look at, a list of things we want to talk about. It's very raw and very real. The emotions that come out of this are very real. So, let's just start off with, I guess, what we've been going through, dude. I don't know if you want to share with the listeners how you've been feeling lately. And then I guess I can also share a little bit about how I've been feeling, and then we can just kind of build it from there.
Yeah, dude. And here's the thing. Since last year, man, when all this started and quarantine and everything like that, last year was the first family member that I lost. And it was like a shocker. I still remember when we heard like the news, and it was shocking the way that it affected the family. Like we have no idea, right? And then we went through that, and then 2021 started, and we all thought like, hey, you know what, dude? Okay, just like a reset. Let's forget about 2020 and let's just start brand new, right? And sure enough, we went through some ups and downs, and unfortunately I lost another family member, and it was actually around the same time that you, my boy, lost your grandma, and it was hard, man, because you don't imagine to be in that situation. You always heard about friends going through that, other family members or other people, man. But when you get into that situation, you're not prepared to react how you're supposed to react, and if there's a way to react, because no one prepare us for this, you know what I mean?
That's it right there. Yeah.
And in my case, dude, like I had all these plans, and I still have those plans, but I don't know if you remember, Mike, like a week ago or a few days ago, I actually text our group chat, and I was like, hey, dude, like I'm just like tired, man. Like I'm tired of trying to be the positive and try to see things like the positive way. I'm just done like trying. And I guess it was a combination of everything, man, because my uncle just like I said, it passed away. And then at work, I had a situation too, man, when things were going good and then bad. And then it was thing after thing after thing, man. And you thought like, I started thinking to myself, man, like, dude, I'm trying all this new stuff. I'm pushing myself super hard into the limits to get to the next level. And then things start happening and they go one after the other one, like I said, and that's what bring me down. Then I had a conversation with you too, that it was an intense conversation because we never discussed this kind of topics like between our friendships. But I think that it was a conversation that we needed to have, right? But that's when you realize, man, that we are humans, dude. Like we go
Yeah.
through our stuffs, and for more positives that we want to be for ourselves and for our other family members, like we have to break one day or another, man, in order for us to like regain that motivation. And like you said, dude, like this episode is not for you guys like to feel sorry for ourselves. It's not even to put you down or anything. It's just to show you guys that yeah, we laugh, we joke around, but we are just human beings just like you guys. We go through stuff. We are not perfect. We have our situation going on when it comes to problems, and we just deal with it differently, I guess, like compared to you guys. But it's just like we have to break down in order for us to rise again. I don't know if you think the same way, Mike, but I mean that's how I see it, man.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy part, dude, is that you might be listening to this and you might think, I've gone through some hard things and I don't know how to take them or how to act or how to put everything together. And similar to what Chewy just mentioned, he messaged us that in the group chat. And guys, he sent that message when I felt so defeated by life a few days ago. I felt so, I just felt, I felt like there was something wrong with me because I guess I can share a little bit about what the past couple of weeks have looked like with you guys without taking up too much time. So my grandmother, she was, she was very old, and she was 93 years old, and she didn't have a lot of medical complications, but she was just an older lady. And one day I called my mom out of the blue, and she's like, "I can't talk. I'll call you later." And she just hung up on me, and that's not like my mom at all. So I called my dad, and I'm like, "Hey, like, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, your grandma. We had to bring her to the ER. She's not feeling good." And literally that same day, it was like, there's nothing they can do for her anymore. She's just old. Like she's, she's going to pass away. And a couple of days passed, and I had to drive back home because they were telling the family, come and say your last goodbyes. And that was so hard for me. I don't know if you guys have ever been in this situation. If you have not, I'm going to try to put it in perspective. The person that you love, one of the people that you love the most in this world, is on their deathbed, and you're just waiting for them to die, and they're gonna die, and it's inevitable. There's nothing that can be done, and that you're never gonna see them again, but they're still alive, and you don't know if they're struggling, you don't know if they're suffering, you don't know if she was struggling to breathe. I didn't know if that was hurting her or not. And that was one of the hardest things that I've had to ever do or go through in my life. And I was at a moment where I was being the strong person. I was being that strong person for my mom, for my sisters. I was showing that face of everything's good. This is how life is. My grandma's old already. We spent a lot of time with her, and the more I started playing that role, the more I was digging myself into this crazy hole, dude, where when she passed away, I cried, but I feel like I didn't get everything out, and then the funeral happened, and I just felt numb, dude. I felt very numb. I felt like in disbelief. I felt like I didn't know how to feel. And I remember having a conversation with my wife and saying, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Do I not have feelings? Do I not have emotion? And I remember she said something very important to me. She said, everybody mourns differently. And maybe you just need to just cry it out, and maybe you just need to just let go of everything. And I remember the next day I sat down and I started listening to music. I've said it on this podcast before. Music is something very special for me. And I started playing music and I started listening to some lyrics and then I started writing. And writing is very big for me too. That's one way to get my emotions out. And as I started writing, it literally all came out, guys. I was just like wrecked, dude. Chewy, I was wrecked, bro. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I was just crying and crying and crying. And I feel like that's kind of what I needed, dude. That's exactly what I needed. And then when you sent those messages, I was like, dude, how am I going to help my friend when I'm in this freaking hole that I don't know how to get out of, you know? And it was so hard for me to even think about trying to help someone else when me myself needed somebody to help me, you know? And I think a lot of the times you find yourself in that situation where you're looking for someone's help, but that person is also looking for help. So then who do you turn to? What do you do in those situations? And everybody deals with these things differently, dude. And I don't know, Chewy, if you're still feeling the same way that you were a few days ago. I don't know if you're still going through those same things, but I know that you figured out a way to at least surpass those initial feelings that you were feeling a few days ago. And I think it's important for people to know and understand how do you deal with that? Again, everybody deals with it differently, guys. Me, you know, I turn to God and I just kind of let him do it. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I need you to help me. And I need you to help me be positive about a negative situation. And then on top of that, like I said, writing helps me a lot. Music helps me a lot. And that's helped me get out of that little, it's not even a funk, dude. It's just that little situation that was so hard for me. I felt like I've never faced anything like that in my life, dude. I really, you know, my grandpas have passed away in the past years, and yeah, I was sad, but it didn't hit me as much as it did with my grandma, dude. And I don't know what it was about it, but it was just so tough, dude. And I didn't want to talk to anybody from my family because I feel like when I would talk to them, it would make them feel worse, you know? Because, you know, I don't know if you've ever been put in that situation where, you know, you start crying to somebody and then they start crying because you're crying. And it's like, I just didn't want to make that domino effect. Because again, I want to be there for my sisters, you know, and for my mom. And yeah, dude, it was just so hard to even try to help you and I wanted to give you some advice so bad. And I wanted to call you and just tell you like, dude, like we're going to freaking kill it with whatever we do. Like, let's just stay positive. But I just didn't have it in me, dude. I didn't have it in me to try to lift anybody up because I was at my lowest at that time.
Correct, dude. And well, you touched base on a really good point, man. That for you guys that don't know, like my dad works out of town most of the month, so pretty much I'm the big brother. I'm the man of the house, right, and everything. So like I retain a lot of my emotions when it comes to situations like that, and I don't show that I'm sad, that I'm frustrated, because I want to show my family that I'm okay and that we're going to be okay. Right. So when this happens too, I remember we were on the services from my uncle, dude. And it was the turn for family members to like go and say some words. Right. And I was one of the few that went and speak up. And I remember that's the first time that I broke down. And I broke down in front of my whole family, man. That I'm usually I don't do that, but like you said, we all go through different process of dealing with our situations. But I think like as men, we tend to hide our emotions a little bit, man, because we want to show that we got this. And like you mentioned, Mike, like especially when it comes like talking to our close family members, like our sisters, our parents, or stuff like that, right? Like we want to make sure that they know that we're them. That we're there for them, right? So that's why we try to like get those emotions close deep inside us, and then that's when we break, when we have our time like for ourselves, right? And Yes, man. I agree that it's super hard like to get advice when you're not in the right place. And it's complicated too. Try to find out how to help someone else when you're going through the same situation. And it's weird, Mike, because we went through the same thing. It was like a matter of like a week difference, man. That everything happened between your grandma and my uncle, and it was so hard for me to call you because one, like we were busy, right? You were dealing with your stuff, I was dealing with our stuff. We had our own situations, but I thought too about calling you, man, but it was like I was not in the right mind, and I cannot give advice, right? And you touch base on another point too, like you turn to God, and I do too, man, because I'm a strong believer that you don't have to go to church every Sunday for you to have like a relationship with God, right? Now I understand that there's people that believe that you have to be there every Sunday in order for you to have a relationship. But that's not my case. But I do talk to God a lot in my own way. Every single morning, every single night before I go to bed and everything, I try to pray and try to go through that stuff. That's the connection that I have with Him, right? And that helps a lot. Now, if you're not into religions or anything like that, like there's other ways, because I do other stuff too. When I'm feeling down and I feel like I just need to quit whatever I'm doing, like I listen to music too. I go through different podcasts. I listen to motivational speakers that I know that works for me. I just bought a book, man, to read, and it's about personal growth. So you have to put yourself in those kind of situations too, man, to make yourself and set up yourself for success. Because if you don't do that, you are doing the opposite, and you're setting yourself to failure, because no one else is going to help you, man. And your wife told you pretty much something that it's really, really important, Mike. Like everyone goes through their healing process in different ways. So whatever works for you, it won't work for me. But the important thing though is that you go through a healing process. And yes, I know, guys,
Right.
it's super easy to say it, and I know it's hard to go through that process. But at the end of the day, though, we have other people behind us that depend on us, and we cannot
That's
be
important.
like, yeah, correct, and we cannot be like in the hole like 100%. We have to get out there, but once again, you have to dig like real deep, and try to put yourself in situations that you're gonna get out of the bad stuff and start looking at the good thing, if it makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's very important what you just said is there's people that are relying on you and that are depending on you, and no matter how low you feel at that moment, you have to understand that somebody's looking to you and somebody needs, that helping hand, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's, if you're a parent, whether it's your children. And I think something very important and really special for me that my daughter has seen me cry in numerous occasions, but I don't think she's ever seen it the way that she saw it this past week. And I think that was an important part also for her to understand that everybody hurts and everybody goes through something at some point. And it's important for us to show those type of emotions sometimes, because like Chewy said, a lot of the times it's very easy to just get stuck in that I'm strong. And we've even made an entire episode about staying positive, and Chewy, I don't know how you feel about this, dude, but I don't think that showing emotion and being vulnerable is necessarily, I don't think that necessarily equates to being negative, not being hopeful, not being positive, because at the end of the day, I think that those are all positive impacts in your life, because you can't ever build something up if it is never broken down. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that makes sense. In order for you to build a stronger you, there's going to come times where you are going to have to pick up some pieces and, make yourself a stronger person from that. And I think going through these type of struggles in life, it really helps mold you, and it really helps to motivate you and set you on the right track. And you always have to find that positive. It doesn't matter what you've gone through or what you're going through. For example, in my positive that I got out of this, I want to be closer to my parents. I don't live in the same city as them, and I sometimes go days without talking to them just because life, work, family, whatever, and I don't talk to them as much as I should. I've closed myself off, dude, to my friends, to you guys, a lot, and I think that conversation that me and you had, I think that's been the very first time, dude, that we've actually had like a deep, I'm talking about deep ass conversation, like where it's like, here I am, dude. This is what I need from my friends. Correct. This is what I expect from my friends. And if you're not willing or you're not able to go there, then that's okay. We can still be friends, but we just can't be, we can't have this like family type bond because we can't be there for each other that way. And I think I walked out of that conversation, dude, so freaking like inspired and motivated, because I was like, at the end of the day, like, I know that I'll be able to count on those that are close to me to get me out of these deep places. Not just by saying, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I don't want to hear that it's going to be okay. I know it's going to be okay, but I just need to know that there's somebody there that I can count on. And that's important, dude. Again, we've talked about this in the past also. Who do you surround yourself with? Who's your circle? Are those people really there for you? Because a lot of the time someone might say that they're there for you, but they're really not. They're just superficially there for you. They're not actually there for you. So when you're vulnerable to your friends, I recommend that you guys do this. If you have friends that you're close with and you've never like opened up to them about what you expect out of that relationship, that friendship, do it. Because I don't know about you, dude, but that really freaking opened up my eyes to our friendship, honestly.
Dude, it helped me a lot, dude, because it let us understood, like, it showed us a part, dude, that we didn't share before, right? And for you guys wondering, we had a deep conversation, man, about our friendship and what Mike needed from me and what I needed from Mike, right? Once again, because both of us, we were going through almost the same situation, but we talked about this in previous episodes. Like, it's gonna depend on your support system a lot, and you have to surround yourself with strong people that they're gonna be there for you. And the ones that are not gonna be there for you, that's fine. I mean, they can keep on their way, they can keep going with whatever they want to go with, but in that kind of situation, I think it's really important to be a little bit selfish, because once again, it's your support system and you are going to be there for them and they have to be there for you. And that's going to create the whole situation. Now, you touch base, Mike, on something really important, that not only like hiding our feelings, sometimes society also see like showing feelings as a sign of weakness. And that took me a lot to understand that was not the way, right? Because especially you, Mike, that you have like a girl and you have another baby on the way, you want to show them too that it's okay to show feelings. It's okay to feel. And it's okay to express how you feel, and then fix whatever you need to fix if there's something to fix, and then move forward, right? But once again, society sometimes, you know what, he's a crybaby. You know what, there's worse things happening in the world, and he's complaining about that. You know what I mean? And once again, we discussed this in a previous episode, like the power of the internet, right? Like, we don't have to be that way, man. We have to understand that every single one of us, it's different, and we go through different stuff. We have different cultures. We have different friendships. We have different relationships. But at the end of the day, it's going to be whatever makes you happy, and whatever it's going to take you out of that situation and put you on your happy place. For me, it could be like going out for a run, going out, taking pictures, talking to my sisters. I enjoy, dude, going to Target with one of my sisters because that actually like distract me of everything. And we are there and just shopping around, dude. We don't have the whole money to go spend, but it helps me like bond with her, create a relationship with her. But I also enjoy that. And I'm sure you have, like you mentioned, Mike, you have your writing, you have your music that put you on your situation. Now, that's what I meant, dude, when I said, like, you have to be selfish. Because at the end of the day, if you're not okay, you're not going to be okay for those who love you or need you, right?
It's important. It's important to take care of yourself. It's important to, we hear it a lot. It feels like it's almost like trendy at this point, self-love. But the reality is, like you said, social media is, and I tell this to my wife all the time, dude. People on social media rarely, and I'm talking about rarely, will post their crappy days. Rarely will post the struggles. Rarely will they post the issues that they're having up here. What you see on social media, which influences your life so freaking much, whether you choose to believe that or not, what you see in social media is all the happy of everything. And I think the pressure of always needing to be perfect, always needing to have it all together for everybody is I think that's not the right way to do life, because there's going to come moments in your life where you do need to extend your hand and let somebody help you. There's going to be moments in your life where you do need that self-love, where you need, like Shui said, you need to go to your happy place. Whatever that happy place is, you need to find it and you need to do it because it's important. Because it's important for the way that you're going to feel that day, that week, that month. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit selfish and taking some time for yourself and taking care of your needs, because everybody needs that reboot. Everybody needs that restart. Now, I don't know if, tampoco no friegues and you're like, oh, my happy place is like, I don't know, my happy place is going to Disneyland by myself, or like my happy place is like, I'm going to go to Wrigley Field to go see the Chicago Cubs without my family and get, wasted. Like, everything within its limits. But, dude, I think it's so important. It's so important to reset. It's so important to unwind. It's so important to really take care of yourself. And for once, stop being the strong one. For once, have that person in your life. If you're not married, if you don't have a significant other, have that person in your life that you can be vulnerable with and just say, like, this is it. This is who I am right now. Like, I need this, because everybody needs that, dude. Everybody needs that. And I think that's so freaking key and that's so important.
Dude, and once again, and I'm always going to say this, like, the support system is going to like mean everything, right? And now that, like you mentioned, like, surround yourself with people that are going to be there, significant other or whoever is there. But also during this process, I had to put my dog down because she was like diabetic and stuff like that. So that's another thing that we went through as well, like a family, right? Because she was like a family member. But now that my sisters are like older, I remember that I sent the text and everyone was there, dude. Like, everyone was helping, like, support system when it comes like mentally and emotionally, but also financially, right? Because I mean, it was a high price, like her staying in the doctor office and stuff like that overnight. So it was pricey, but everyone pitched in and everything. And my point to this is that they were there for me without me asking them. And that's the kind of people that you need around yourself.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to mental health, especially mental health, man, it's so tricky, because if you don't have people that show you that they're there for you, then you start creating these ideas in your head. like, oh, dude, so I'm really alone on this. Not even my friends reach out, or not even my family cares. And then you start creating all these stories that's gonna like get you crazy, man. And that's why it's, again, your support system is going to be everything. That you have people that without asking, they're going to be there, they're going to be supporting you, and they're going to let you know that they're there without you asking. So I think that's big. Right. If you're going through whatever you're going, and it could be as stupid as I didn't get promoted in my job, right? Because once again, that might be, you might be 17 years old, listen to this podcast, and maybe that's your struggle right now. But maybe we have another listener that it's like 40 years old and it's going through something like hard compared to just not getting promoted. But when you compare, like, it's just, the struggle is the same, right? But once again, if you are that kind of person going through, like, speak up. You have to speak up. Don't stay quiet. Don't just hope that everything's going to get better. Because once again, you have to put yourself in a good situation in order for you to get out of that situation. So just speak up. Just speak up. I know it sounds easy, and we say it like relax right now and everything, but trust me, guys, we already went through a lot of stuff that even when we were talking about doing this podcast, Mike, like I asked you, like, my boy, are you okay talking about this? Are you okay sharing this stuff? And are you going to be okay discussing these kind of topics? And we felt like we were in a good place in order for us to just talk about it and show what we want to get, like, our point across the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think ultimately the goal of this podcast is not just for entertainment. I think it's also for helping other people. And if we could help anybody out in any way, whether it's, sharing 45 minutes of your day and making you laugh, or making you be entertained about something, or opening your eyes to something that you might have not seen before, that's what we're here for. If you're listening to this podcast and you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, you feel like maybe perhaps you don't have a loved one, you don't have somebody that you can count on or rely on, our DMs are always open, guys. You'd be surprised how liberating it is just to talk about what you're going through, your feelings, when you feel like nobody else understands, or perhaps you have talked to other people and all they say is you'll be all right. Sometimes that's okay, but sometimes that's not enough, dude. It's not enough for you to just say, oh, it'll be all right. I know it's going to be all right. Like, you know, like I know it's going to be all right, but I don't want to hear it's going to be all right, or maybe sometimes you just need somebody to just listen, not say absolutely anything, and just listen to you. I feel like I'm like that sometimes. I just need somebody to vent to, and don't tell me anything. Just
correct.
Okay, I just needed to get that out, and that's it. All right, I feel better, But just know, guys, that our DMs are open. If you need somebody to talk to, let us know. We are more than willing to help you guys out.
If you know someone that might need help, reach out. Like Mike said, we want you to relate to whatever content we're putting out there. It could be jokes, it could be about UFOs, and in this case, it could be about mental health. And this is a serious topic, guys. So if you know someone that might go or it's going through stuff, don't be afraid to reach out. Even one text like, hey, are you okay? You want to grab some coffee? Trust me, guys, that's going to make a freaking difference. And if you are that person, like Mike said, shoot us a DM. If you follow our page, it's because pretty much you know us and you have that trust on us. Just shoot us a DM. We'll be there. If we are like miles away, we can go ahead and make sure to give you a call or everything like that. But please just know, guys, that you guys are not alone on this. Alone. Correct.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. Don't ever feel like you're alone, even if you are, there's always somebody willing to help you out. And if and also on the flip side of that, be a good friend, reach out to your loved ones, be a good son, be a good daughter, call your parents. Don't take advantage of the time that you have, because at the end of the day, guys, our days are numbered. As cliche as that sounds, our days are numbered. And at the end, you want to be in a place where you can say, I took full advantage of that individual. Not in a bad way, but like I took advantage of the time being with them. I know they loved me. They know that I loved them, and nothing's worse than, saying goodbye to somebody and feeling like I should have done more,
Dude, and nothing is worse than regret, man. So, for you guys that don't follow me on my own podcast page and channel, I had an episode about the last memory. That's how the episode it's called. But I talked about we do everything for the last time. Just to put you and just to wrap this up real quick, but it was you, Mike, for example, you went out to the streets to play soccer or whatever for the last time one day, but you didn't even realize that you did that for the last time. So my whole point to this, guys, it's like, make sure to take advantage of the situations that you have in front of you. Like Mike said, if you are not living in the same city as your parents, like, make a habit of after work, just give them a call, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, how they're doing, and that's it. Your friends, your family members, everything, just reach out and take advantage, because you're never going to know when's going to be the last time that you're going to have that opportunity.
And you can make someone's day by just calling them and just not even asking, hey, are you good? How are you? No, just talking to them, making them laugh.
Correct.
Making them feel special. That's all it takes, really. That's all it really takes. And absolutely take advantage of, of every moment that you live. I know sometimes negative things happen in your life. We talked a little bit about it in this episode. You go through life and sometimes you're going full speed and life throws you a speed bump and you have to slow down. But at the end of the day, Chuy, la vida es bonita, bro. La vida, it's there with its ups and its downs. But at the end of the day, life is beautiful, guys. I took my daughter for a walk today. I was looking at the sunset. I was looking at the flowers come out of the trees. And as corny as this sounds, even my daughter was like, hey, Dad, like, who made all of this? 'Cause it's super
Nice.
Beautiful. And I'm like, God made everything. She's like, wow, he's good, huh? And I'm like, yeah, he's good.
Nice.
Again, if you don't believe in God, if you believe in something else, just see the beautiful things in life, guys, and know that everything's always going to get better. Everything can always get better. Reach out to somebody, do whatever it takes to be in your happy place. Listen to this podcast because we know that this is your happy place.
Hell yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. But I don't have anything else, Chuy. Do you have anything else to add?
No, guys, that's it. Once again, this podcast was not meant to be like a downer for you guys. It's more of just like creating awareness of the situation live, and that struggles happen in every single life, and it's just the way you have to deal with it and how you set up yourself for success. But that's
For
it,
sure.
Mike. Thank you guys for coming back, and I guess we'll see you in the next one.